Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I'll be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star. Didn't even get to cross.
Sorry to be a pain. Can you just say something again?
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. No, we're good. I thought I fucked something up just then.
No, there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I'll be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star. Didn't even get to cross. I said I'm moving too far. Get to glass. Looking at a shooting star. Got more than a couple of people going mad. I swear they're rooting hard. Tell them I'd be big in the game like she went and got them breast implants. I said I'm moving too fast. Didn't even get a glance. I'm ready to eat up track like I'm seated in a restaurant. If you had swag like mine, you know it's best to flaunt. We aren't hating because you want. Shining like it's neon. Rock like kings of Leon.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 2 of this Division 1 championship here for the final time on F122. I'm your host, Snooper Loop, tonight, accompanied by my man Zilla. Welcome in, Zilla.
Yeah, good evening, Snoop. Thanks for having me again, mate.
Welcome back. Yeah, it's good to keep this little duo working well. We've had some good fun to start off a Div 1 championship together in the commentary box. We had an absolute tussle last week for a race win, and it was quite fascinating, wasn't it? Pretty elbows out sort of racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Round 1 certainly delivered there in Zandvoort, and if the last 2 nights have been anything to go by, mate, we should have an absolute cracker of a race tonight in Baku.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it and rubbing my fingers together. We are here at round 2, as mentioned by Zilla, the Baku City Circuit, one of the hardest, probably the hardest track on this calendar. We head into the circuit map now, Azerbaijan. A 6-kilometre circuit. It's one of the longer ones, especially that final straight. It's the longest straight in Formula 1. 51 laps here in a real race, in a full lengther. How many do we go tonight, Zilla?
Oh, mate, you put me on the spot. 36, I believe.
36 laps around. That's as we do only a 50% race distance.
26.
26.
Sorry, Steve.
We're close.
26 in the feature race.
And the lap record in real life is held by Charles Leclerc, which was set in 2019. Obviously, with the cars now being a little bit slower, they're not reaching those sorts of speeds anymore. Let's head to the standings. So it's Seb, Ekem, and Tiger who are currently at the top 3 positions. And unfortunately, Apex got a disqualification for his race last week through the FI. I'm sure it's something to do with maybe a number or something like that. So he unfortunately finds himself in P16 as the championship stands after an emphatic battle last week. But that's how the points look so far. Mercedes looking pretty on top. With Alpine and AlphaTauri taking out the top 2 positions, or the other 2 positions on the podium. So there's plenty to play for. It's only round 2, so drivers will just be getting their feet wet here, and it's probably not an easy one to try and be a bit consistent at. This Azerbaijan circuit is an absolute grueling track to drive, and as Zilla would know, he raced it earlier in the week in Division 3. Can you give us a little bit of insight, Zilla, of how you found this track?
Yeah, mate. So Baku, is quite a challenging technical track. These guys in Division 1, for those that aren't aware, do have limited assists tonight, so there is no TC for these boys. So if there is a track that's extremely treacherous without any assists, it's Baku. Unfortunately, you have the track and you have the wall. There's next to no runoff areas, so Baku is all about precision and it's about consistency. So you'll find, Snoop, by the end of tonight, those that were able to keep their front wing clean and intact are going to come home scoring some pretty strong points because of how brutal this track is.
Yeah, that's it. And let's quickly go back to the circuit map here so you can see in the first sector is pretty square, a lot of 90-degree turns, and especially at turns 1, where we've seen Daniel Ricciardo back in 2018 make that amazing triple overtake. Turn 2, which is always a bit of havoc there, especially off a race start. Everyone seems to get through turn 1 pretty easily, but they want to get that nice exit out into the second straight, or the first straight really of the lap, out before the first DRS detection zone. And even the third sector as well, coming through Le Castellet, all that sort of stuff. All through those windy sections at the top there, especially where Charles ran straight into the barrier. It's a pretty hard circuit to master, so a lot of 90-degree turns. But we're going to head into the race now. It's a one-shot qualifying. We will be back with some exciting racing for you guys.
No, there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let them know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show them who's in charge. Call me a shooting star.
So here we are with Division 1, about to get underway. Sorry, Zilla, it's just come back in. We're about to get this one-shot quali underway. Another weird qualifying format to start this new layout of the ARL. Last week we had a full qualifying at Netherlands, and now we find ourselves here with a one-shot qualifying, so quite the opposite.
Yeah, the one-shot qualification here adds a very unique change to the calendar. At Baku as well, which is such a difficult track, as we've talked about already. Yeah, let's see how we go. Who are we going to ride on board with, mate?
We might see. We'll go between the top guys. You can see. Look at that. All the names changing through. It's going to be hard. So Tadachi right now. Let's stick with him for a second here. He's managing just to stay within the top 10. Doesn't take that corner very nicely. Let's go back to P1 here. Ekem fighting, and between the top 5 now, it was bouncing around quite a bit, so they're all sort of at the same speed here. Let's see who takes these corners a bit better than others. Ekem stays on pretty nicely. Tazo and Apex must have had a little bit of a mishap there. Tadachi drops down to P14 now. So Ekem so far looks the quickest and most consistent. Very cool here on the side. We can see how they're changing throughout the lap. They all started at the same time, and we're seeing in real time which drivers are taking corners differently. So right now, Eckham is by far the quickest. He hasn't moved from that P1 position. You can see Taz has dropped right down to 10th, so a mistake from him. Apex is making his way up. Taz is back up to 7th, 6th now, so a little bit quicker through there. And the M-Dog, he's made his way a little bit way up as well. So some time caught between there, but Eckham so far the quickest.
Yeah, Snoop, I've been riding on board with Seb since the start, who's our current championship leader. Into turn 2, he was P15 and he's up into P4 right now. So, yeah, didn't have the best exit out of turn 1, but he's certainly made up for it now throughout the rest of the lap, and he's made himself back up into P4. Let's see where things finish off.
Very, very, very crazy. I like this how you can see that in real time with the one-shot quality sort of leaderboard on the side here. It actually gives some good insight, but it looks like Eckham's going to be the man to take pole position, and he gets it by a couple of tenths, so a beautiful lap from him, and Seb keeps himself at a respectable position. It's the M-Dog as well who gets himself in on the front row of the qualifying grid here, so not a bad effort, but Eckham looked very smooth through that entire lap.
Whew. 138.9. That is a blinder of a lap. 2 tenths ahead of the M-Dog. Great performance from Eckham.
So Tiger in P3 and ABK, they're going to launch off the second row. Seb and Kebab, they'll go from the third. Apex and Kato, welcome back, Kato. He's up in Div 1 again, as we love seeing him here. We've got Huey and Tazza, who round out the top 10. Then we have combined YouTube, Valhalla, SVYT, Tadachi, Philly, Weru Boy, Dutchy, and Dodgerino. So that'll round out our grid here coming into the next session. So just while this loads up, Zilla, this is going to get... So this race is a little bit different again to what we had last week. So is this a sprint race we're having?
Yeah, 9 laps. Yeah.
So we just had a one-shot quality to set the sprint.
Correct.
Nice.
And then sprint to set the 26 lap feature race. Yeah.
So 9 laps here on Azerbaijan. I'm gathering all 18 of our entrants are going to get on the medium tyre.
Quite possibly. We did see last night 1 or 2 of the guys tried their luck on softs. The risk of a safety car and the chance of a safety car here at Baku is literally guaranteed. Look, unfortunately last night the guys that did run the gamble and go on softs, it didn't quite pay off, but it's not to say that if there is a nicely timed safety car that it won't work. It's just that last night we didn't really see that plan work out that well. So the main problem is though, when you use the mediums for the sprint, you only get 1 set of mediums for the race. So it does create a strategy there with the tyre when it comes to the feature race, 26 lapper.
Well, plenty to play for here and plenty to think about for these drivers, but they've only got a few seconds left here. They'll obviously get to go out and do their formation lap. But not much can be changed after they're on the grid now. So these guys getting ready to go here, and they're going to go out and warm their tyres up. So let's get the tyre detail out here. So everyone's gone on the mediums except for Dutchy and Dodgerina.
Yeah, not overly surprised by that. Two boys at the back starting on softs. As I said before, chances of safety car almost guaranteed. So they'll be definitely wanting a safety car here, because 9 laps on the soft tyres, you're not having a good time in the last sort of four or so laps. The tyre degradation is pretty terrible.
So a hard circuit here. It's actually a bit of a tone setter to set off the season here, I think, because knowing how hard this track is, it's going to be a bit of a statement if somebody can pull away here. It's going to be hard racing. I mean, we've seen it at Zandvoort, which is probably one of the more driver-friendly tracks in terms of overtaking and stuff. You have turn 1, which is a big, wide, cambered turn. Even through that whole first sector, we've seen Eckham go down the inside of Apex on the last final lap there to take the win. And then wasn't managed to get it done, but the circuits like that are very driver friendly in that sense that they, you can overtake on a lot of parts of the circuit, where this one, it's a lot of risk involved you have to be calculated. You have to be consistent. So I'm interested to see how the Div 1 guys handle this. Obviously, throughout the week, as we spoke just off air earlier, Zilla, that safety cars have been very predominant this week in the ARL. So we'll see how the Div 1 guys go. Can they separate themselves from the other two divisions and keep it a bit more cleaner? But the racing's going to be hard, so we'll see how they go.
Yeah, look, as far as the last 2 nights go, Snoop, the majority of overtakes have happened in turn 1, 2, and 3. Anything outside of those 3 corners is very high risk, as you say. So it needs to be a very well-timed, very calculated move to get that position changed clean. The risk versus reward is pretty crazy. But you know what? These boys are the best of the best. This is Division 1, so we may see some crazy overtakes tonight in other parts of the track that we haven't seen the last 2 nights. Yeah, they're heading onto the grid now, getting ready to start the 9-lap sprint race.
So Valhalla must have made contact somewhere with somebody. I see he's already set on the grid.
Yeah, he must have hit potentially hit the wall. I don't think another car was involved.
So here we go, our sprint race for round 2 of the new Division 1 league here in the ARL. It's about to get underway. We've got the lights up on the screen here. They're about to drop. And out they go. So Eckham looks to get away well. The M-Dog gets a pretty good start as well. He's looking to cover off. Tiger behind in the other Mercedes. So far looks pretty clean. A few drivers go wide. There's a wing gone.
Oh.
So
Kebabs into the wall into turn 2.
So there was a bit going on in the back there. It was hard to see for that camera angle. But so far, everyone's sort of redressed back up until Philly. Look at this battle here. Plenty of cars coming into this turn, and it's going to be tight. And look, the contact between the Ferrari and Haas just pushes Philly wide. Cato. We go back to the front. Eckham leading the way so far pretty nicely. So it looks like somebody went around. Was it Werribee or Tadachi?
Yeah, I believe they've both made contact there, and I was just watching that battle between Philly, Dutchy combined, and Cato. There's certainly a few broken wings, mate, from this first lap. That's without question. Whether or not they come in and change that or not, we'll soon find out. But yeah, all drivers have made it through. No safety car yet, which is promising. Moving towards the front of the field, I'm just watching the gap there. Eckham has already broken DRS to the M-Dog, which is yeah, going to be really, really important for him if he wants to keep that lead. DRS is a very, very long straight down the main straight, so there's a lot of overtaking opportunities.
Yeah, it looks like Eckham's come out and set the tone here. He's looking pretty comfortable. From that one-shot quality, looks like he's done his practice as well. Throughout the field, there's small gaps starting to form. It's Apex at the moment who's got no front wing, so he's lost the front wing in the battles, so he's going to have to go in and get that changed. He was pretty close to the back of Huey. All that downforce that he gained was helping him down the straight there.
Yeah, Apex comes in. I think Huey may have some damage as well. That 2-second gap to ABK was built fairly quickly, so just as I'm riding on board with Spit and Combined battling here side by side, about to head into turn 3. Does he keep it on the inside? He does. Spit's trying to... he's in the wall. That's going to be an orange front wing. Philly trying to come around the outside and Spit, yeah, making contact and he's around. It's just not going to work, unfortunately. And Dutchy there and the Alfa Romeos had a spin as well.
Not a place you can go too wide. Too wide is almost foreign language at this circuit. It just doesn't work. And you can see here, Tazza, it looks like... Is that him that's lost the front wing as well? Yes, he has. So Tazza's lost the front wing, and maybe ABK's wing just coming past looks okay, but Tazza is running P6 with no wing, so it's a track that you can probably get away with it with just the pure amount of downforce you need down those back straights. And it's hard to overtake in this second and third sector, I guess. So let's see if Tazza can make this work. Unless he did it this lap and he's going to pit, but...
We have a VSC here, mate. So Dutch is out of the race. I believe that's a virtual safety car, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, it is a virtual. The car's already been cleared. off the circuit, so I don't think it'll be too long before they get back underway. So 3 laps in here, we've got one DNF of Dutchy. Tadachi made contact, Apex made contact, SVYT made contact, and Weary Boy looked to make contact as well. They've all had damage of some sort, so they're going to have to come back in. There's a few changes as well. It looks like Kebab has jumped into the pits, so Weary Boy and Tadachi will move up a couple of spots there. So unfortunately for Kebab, he's going to have to go into a set of softs as well to not hinder his race. His race strategy is the word I was looking for there.
Yeah, there's certainly going to be a few damaged wings out here, but look, given the time that's lost in the pit lane, and it is only a 9-lap sprint, you are better off just trying to get out and bring the car home and, you know, score as many points as you can. The sprint weekend's a great opportunity to get some extra points in the bag, but having a broken front wing certainly does not help, as Tazza is experiencing right now with no front wing whatsoever. Huey is right on his tail there, just going through the castle section. Huey should be able to make this move down the main straight. Just got a yellow flag there at the start of Sector 3 for Tadachi and the Haas, I believe. Yeah, Tadachi's lost his wing in the castle section, Snoop.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, he's not had the start he's wanted, and let's just jump on board with him and see what damage he's had. He's lost the front wing. So coming through the castle there, I dare say he's just gone a little bit too deep. And unfortunately, he's lost it. So Huey's managed to get around the outside of Tazza coming onto the back straight. Oh! Tazza's just slammed into the wall.
Oh my god.
That's a massive DNF. That is huge. It's like he didn't even try and turn that car. I can't believe we caught that on stream.
I actually just switched back to Tazza myself, and his car bounced so hard off the wall.
So far, it's not a safety car either.
How is that not a safety car?
He's been cleared and is back to green flags already. That's crazy. Also,
The
the M-Dog
stewards
has
are
gotten
all
past
over
Ekim
this,
as
mate.
well. So just in the heat of it, and Ekim goes down the inside now. So the M-Dog, just in the heat of the moment there with Tazza, we've missed something here. Probably a mistake from Ekim. And now he's been overtaken by the AlphaTauri of M-Dog. He's got his teammate Tiger, and then he's got Seb behind him as well in the other Alpine machine. So I don't know what happened there, but the M-Dog's now leading the race for a pretty crazy turn of events in the last 5 corners or so.
I was so distracted by that Tazza crash. I thought there's no way that is not a safety car. I did not even realise there was a battle heading up at the start. So apologies for those sitting at home watching that. Yeah, look, this is going to be interesting here to see. These 4 guys out front now, Snoop, they're going to be pulling each other along.
Oh! And then Ekim goes around!
Ekim's around! He's out!
And he's DNF'd, and that's going to be a full safety car. That has to be. It looks like
that's a full safety car. That's huge, Snoop. Ekim is out of this sprint race.
So that third sector seems to be a deadly place. You don't want to lose the rear end there. And as Tazza and Ekim could tell you, they've both crashed in that third sector. Grip is not something that has been found in masses around this circuit. We've seen Dutchy, Tazza, and now Ekim, who was our race leader and pole position getter, is just DNF'd, and he's going to start this next feature race from P16.
Wow.
So everything's unfolding here. As we see the M-Dog, he's just caught up to the safety car here, Bernd Maylander, and it's all just changed. So the M-Dog went from looking like he couldn't hold a candle to the back of Ekim to Ekim. We're going to have to ask him about this after the race just to find out, because he was out in front by quite a reasonable time, nothing too crazy. And then all of a sudden, Tazza puts his Alpine through the fence, and then we come back and the M-Dog snatched the lead off him. So a lot happened in a short amount of time there, but yeah, wow. Now we've got Tiger, who's going to be the one, and our championship leader Seb, who can rub his hands together and push that gap a bit further away from Ekim if he can sort of capitalise here and try and get a couple more positions as well.
Yeah, Seb will be pretty happy with that. Just before the safety car, the gap there to ABK was around 4 seconds. So these 3 at the front really do have the pace to make that gap and get away from the rest of the pack. But It's a sort of track here, Snoop, where the pressure's high. There's limited assists, so it is very, very easy to lose the car. And as we've seen already, some of the fastest guys in this league have not been able to keep it together. So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how many laps of racing we're actually going to get. Usually what happens here at Baku when there is a full safety car, the grid does spread out quite a lot because people take the opportunity to come and replace wings and replace tyres. Usually the safety car has been running the full 3 laps, so hopefully we don't see that tonight. Somehow the M-Dog has just been disqualified from this session. Snoop, do you have any idea what we just witnessed?
I literally have no clue what's going on. Maybe we could be having some sort of issue right now. It could possibly be, I think so. With the M-Dog he literally just retired from the session just then.
I'm just having a quick look through.
Yeah, I'm just trying to have a look through the Discord here and see if we can find out what's happening here, because it seems something's gone a little bit south here for the M-Dog. Whether that was a personal issue of his, but the safety car just teleported behind the M-Dog and DQ'd him. So
it does appear to be isolated, Snoop, so that's very interesting and bizarre at the same time. So I don't understand how the game did that. Werry Boys had a collision with Cato.
What the hell? Okay, so I think this is going to be red flagged.
Yep. Okay.
All right, we're going to go to an ad break, ladies and gentlemen, and just stand by for a race restart here.
No, there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star. Didn't even get to cross. I said I'm moving too far. Get to glass. Looking at a shooting star. Got more than a couple of people going mad. I swear they're rooting hard. Tell them I be big in the game like she went and got them breast implants. I said I'm moving too fast. Didn't even get a glance. I'm ready to eat up track like I'm seated in a restaurant. If you had swag like mine, you know it's best to flaunt. We aren't hating because you want. Shining like it's neon. Rock like kings of Leon. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, then I just have to leave. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, then I just have to leave. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting shots. Shooting stars. Didn't even get to cross.
There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. I know my limits, you can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again. We got millions of reasons to let it all go. Hope we're not too broken. I know I'm not always strong. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again. I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You're
welcome back. We are here with a race grid reset for Division 1. So we had a bit of desync in the lobby, which has caused us to restart the session. We're going to come back to you with the one-shot qualifying grid, how that was laid out. You'll see it just in a sec how it's going to line up. But yeah, we just had some issues there. We've got it sorted and we're back on track. But a few talking points with that reset of the grid. A few drivers here that get a little bit of a reprieve, Zilla.
Yeah, throwing a lifeline for sure. Ekim, Tazza, to name a couple, big names that have unfortunately crashed out of the race. Tazza in rather spectacular fashion with his crash has been thrown a lifeline. So let's see if they use it and are able to finish the race with a good result.
That's it. And somebody who will be not liking this grid reset would have to be Seb. He was looking in a great position to extend his championship lead and now finds himself having to do it all over again. So he'll be hoping to probably make a bit more of a dent at the start of this race. But we'll get this formation lap underway and see if any strategies are changed. Maybe even a few tweaks to some setups with aerodynamics and whatnot. So we'll see what the drivers do and see where this grid reset gets us.
Yeah, just as you mentioned setup there, Snoop, the setup variance here at Baku is actually pretty crazy. In the last couple of nights, we have seen some drivers do some pretty different setups where, for example, a pretty common setup here at Baku is 5-3 on the wings or 5-2 on the wings. There's actually been quite a few guys running 14 and 10 and 10 and 7 wings. So
wow.
There's a pretty big variance there. And, for those that aren't aware, the lower the wing, the faster the speed down the main straight. So the guys with the higher wings are going to be way faster through the second and third sector, but down that main straight, the higher your wings, you're losing anywhere around 5/10 against those on the much lower wings. So when you've got a combination of the DRS and the battery behind you, anyone on those higher wings down the straight's pretty much a sitting duck. So
no, you're totally right there. The aerodynamics and setup makes a huge difference at this track. It's probably one of the ones that it's pretty hard to fine-tune because of those straights. You sort of have to give a lot of your aerodynamic finesse to the straights here. So you have to, some drivers who like a pointy-end car have to get rid of that because of the straights here. They really require too much of the car at this track. So yeah, it's one of those ones where you just have to manage the car. And I think it's why we see so many DNFs at this track, because unless you take that risk with your setup, I don't think you're going to be competitive anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting here at Baku as well, talking about heading onto the main straights. Out of turn 16 is such an important corner on this track because it sets up what that speed you're going to carry throughout the whole rest of that entire main straight. So exit of turn 16, take note of that one at home because it's very, very important to get a good exit.
That's it. So we're about to get underway here for the second time tonight in the sprint race. We've got Ekim, the M-Dog, who start off the front row. We've got Tiger and ABK who will launch behind them. We've got Seb and Kebab who have had the courtesy of letting EA park their cars on the grid in the third row. Apex and Kato will go behind those two guys, with Huey and Chaz rounding out the top 10. We've got combined YouTube, Valhalla, SB, Tadachi, Philly, Weruboy, Dutchy and Dodgerino rounding out the grid. And those two guys have opted to go back on the softs at the back of the grid, so we'll see if that can prevail for the second time. So for the
consistent strategies.
Yeah, that's maybe the only consistent thing about these races tonight is these guys, the strategy right now, because it's going to be hard and it's going to get harder and harder and harder, especially as the race moves on. So we're on board here for the second time, a sprint race. The lights are about to go out. Looks like Ekim got a pretty decent start here. M-Dog just covers off. Behind, everything looks okay, but everyone redresses pretty nicely. It looks like there's a little bit of oversteer from a few drivers.
ABK had a great start there, Snoop. Riding on board through turn 1, he got the move done on Tiger. Nearly forced him into the wall, but Tiger was able to hold it together. But ABK's had a great start. And we have a virtual safety car.
So not a good start back to this session, as we've already got a virtual, and there it is right there. It's Philly who's lost the front wing, so not sure where that happened, and it looks like he's the only one. Oh, no, that Williams is okay. So he's managed to lose his front wing, and under a virtual safety car, is it a virtual or is it going a full safety car?
Nah, that's a virtual.
So under a virtual safety car here, so that's going to help Philly out a little bit. He's going to be able to tack onto the back of this pack and not lose so much time, actually. So that's a little bit of a hail from God for him.
He must have hit the wall pretty hard though, Snoop, because you need to have a fairly big impact for the whole wing to come off. Lucky not to DNF.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, if he got tangled up with somebody or how that happened, but yeah, he's lost his front wing and he's going to have to work hard to make positions as we go green. There's a few positions being jostled here between Apex and ABK, and they're going to go 2 wide down the back straight here, 3 wide now. So Tiger just redresses in nicely, and he thought better of that one. Look at these guys. There's a massive train coming down the back straight, and I'm sure positions are going to be had at turn 1 here. So Apex is going down the inside of ABK. Tiger's looking to go on the outside. He's in a sandwich of these 2 drivers. Will Apex break deep here? A Daniel Ricciardo-like move. He gets it done, pushes ABK on the outside, and Tiger goes around the outside as well. Will he get a good exit? It looks like he does. And ABK's losing positions left, right, and center. Tazza goes down the inside as well and gets it done. A little bit squirrely, but they all manage to redress. What a start to this race.
That is sensational driving from Apex. He held that together so well, and he got the move done up into P3. What a performance there from Apex. 3
wide down that back sector. Very precarious for these guys. And we've got another. So is that Tadachi? That might be a full safety car. Or is it virtual?
I believe it's another VSC, yeah.
So
yep.
We're getting little pockets of action here, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, we've had more virtual safety cars and passes, I think. So
Tadachi has no front wing at all, so he's going to want to try and nurse that back to the pits.
So yeah, what a little tussle that was. Amazing driving.
That was very exciting. That was very, very good driving from those boys. I was very interested to see who was going to be the last to break, and I love your comment about Daniel Ricciardo into turn 1 Baku.
Oh, wow! So Ekim nearly lost it, and the M-Dog's going to overtake him under a virtual safety car. So a little bit of, sorry to cut you off there, Zilla, and racing's underway too. So at the wrong time, Ekim, in the same spot last race, he just lost his rear tyres there, the grip, and nearly put it into the wall in the exact same way he did it in the last race. We're going to run on board here with Ekim, and he's going to look to go down the inside as well. How long is he going to take to break here? The M-Dog's not going to give it up easy, I wouldn't imagine. But Ekim goes down the inside here. Looks like the M-Dog just redresses. Doesn't get too good of an exit. Doesn't get a bad one either. Ekim's going to be on the inside. Oh, it just redresses the M-Dog around the outside. So we did get a really good exit, actually. Now Apex is getting on in the action as well, just in the background.
He's let him go for DRS, Snoop. That's what he's done. Is he going to hold it around the outside into turn 3? Oh, it's... M-Dog closed the door there very nicely.
So to all the people that watched the real-life Azerbaijan Grand Prix this year, it's sort of like a Max Verstappen, George Russell type battle going on here. The places they're trying to overtake each other at turn 3 and whatnot, allowing a little bit more room than what those guys did in the real race. But so right now you can see Apex, who's been charging through this field. He's starting to bring himself in on the back here. We've got Tiger and Seb, who's in P5, our championship leader. He's just down the back there. They're not too far away, so they're all within play here. ABK just got absolutely swallowed up on that last lap before the last virtual safety car we had. And he's going to have to do a little bit of work to get some points that he was previously fruition to earlier. So far the M-Dog has managed to keep a decent lead from Ekim, but Ekim's got to keep this Mercedes on the track at the moment. He looks very unstable after what was a pretty flawless qualifying session.
Yeah, look, the hardest part here, Snoop, is that Ekim is on, virtually no assist at all, and on controller, and at Baku. So that is a recipe for disaster, if you ask me. So he's juicing a bit of battery there, but he does have DRS coming down the main straight. So M-Dog has a massive battery advantage here over Ekim, so let's see if he's able to hold the position or if Ekim can make it through here in the next DRS zone. As we saw in the previous lap, Ekim played a little bit of games there where he actually let M-Dog through in order to get DRS. He's just got a yellow flag there into sector 1. What happened there? I believe Dodgerino may have been around.
I think it's Cato's dropping positions behind Dodgerino. I don't know if there was a bit of touch there. Maybe might not have been Cato, but he lost a position when that came out. As we see Philly with a 141.9 running around on those softs at the back.
Yeah, very good lap there from Philly.
Oh, so we've got a battle brewing. Look at Apex. Just wants to go down the inside. And he threw the anchors out just at the right time then not to be in the back of that Mercedes. So Apex is looking racy and he wants to make do with this disqualification he got last week. He's not messing around. But he's in the Mercedes sandwich here between the Alfa Romeos that he's in. And he's going to have to handle the pressure of Ekim's teammate. But will he go down the inside here? Gets late on the brakes. Let's get on board with him. So Ekim, this is where he's losing a little bit of time in the third sector. He's got his teammate behind, doing a pretty good job right now to apply some rearward pressure on the Alfa Romeo, but got us another yellow in sector 2 as well. So that's going to be a full safety car. So again, Baku is just riddling these drivers, and I can say every DNF has been in the third sector in Div 1 tonight. We haven't seen one outside of that third sector. It's causing havoc everywhere.
That was just about to get very interesting as Svit unfortunately has a drive-through penalty, not obeying the Delta. Naughty, naughty boy. As I was just about to say this, dude, Apex was having a great run on Ekim all over his gearbox. He really, you know, for me, it doesn't look like he had any intention of trying to get the move done there in the last sector. He was just trying to force a mistake there from Ekim, and Ekim didn't crack. Which is a testament to him, but Ekim looked like almost certainly was going to get the move done there in the main straight until he was robbed of that opportunity by the safety car.
Yeah, well, look, the positive about all these safety cars is that we're going to have better racing for the rest of the grid as the time goes on, because the tyres are going to be a lot fresher, Zilla. So we can expect this last few laps of this safety car. If you look around the track map here, just coming into the pit lane now, looks to be either Tadachi, no, it's Philly going to the pit lane. So these guys are still going to come all the way back around. So now we're going to probably have anywhere between 3 to 4 laps under the safety under racing conditions to end this sprint race. I think we'll get to lap 6, the safety car will come in. So we'll have a couple of laps of racing here. So it's going to be, we are in a sprint race. I'm going to call it a super sprint to the end. 3 laps here, all or nothing. These guys are playing for a pole position in the feature race in this race. So there is a lot to play for. People like Seb, if they can nick a few positions here as well, it'll be good for their championship to just steal some points away.
Yeah, Seb, you know, one of these guys would be very, very frustrated about the continuous safety cars because he just hasn't been able to make enough of an impact on this race purely because there hasn't been enough time to do so.
Yeah.
You know, you have a lap or two, build a bit of momentum, find your feet, find a bit of pace, and then it all comes to a standstill with the safety car. So Philly, you know, back there in P16 would be very happy to actually have a front wing and get onto a brand new set of softs. So we'll see if he can do anything for the last few laps in this sprint.
So SV is going to have to serve a drive-through right now as well, I believe. Unless he's not going to do it. Let's see if he does. No, he's gone straight past the pit, so I don't know if he's protesting that in his own mind that he doesn't want to do it, but he's going to decide to take that one on. So I'm not sure what the game gives you if you don't serve a drive-through, because I believe you have only a couple laps to serve him before it'll DQ you. So
yeah,
maybe
it's a disqualification.
Maybe because he knows there's only a couple laps left, I don't know what the game will do, but he wants to race it out, SV, so he's taking on the EA FIA, and he's going to keep that Williams out on the track. So it's Tadachi who's just bringing the rear of this pack together. He's on a set of softs, and hopefully with this safety car coming in, he might be able to make a few positions here, the Academy Division champion a few seasons ago. He's definitely got the talent to hack it. He just needs to string a couple corners together here. And he's got the racecraft to do it as well. So let's see if he can do some movements. Let's quickly go through our grid. We've got Philly, another great driver. We spoke about SVYT before. He needs to sort that Williams out and have a chat with the FIA between these races. Werry Boy, one of our seasoned veterans here in the ARL, and same with his good mate Tazza behind him, who looks like he's got his whole wing for the rest of this race, unlike the first one. We have Dutchy, who's made a position up, so the soft strategy seems to have worked for those guys with all these virtual safety cuts. Then we've got the man Jakey Boy Cato. He is in that Ferrari machine and he's looking to get inside the top 10 here, like everybody else. Dodgerino in the Red Bull, the only Red Bull driver out on the grid, alongside with Valhalla. And then the only other Aston Martin driver on the grid, which is combined YouTube. So then we've got Kebab in the other McLaren, ABK. Then we've got Seb, our championship leader, Tiger, Apex, who's on a charge, Ekim, and the M-Dog. I'm going to give you to Zilla here. He's going to take you away for the race restart.
Yeah, we're in this lap, Snoop, so what the M-Dog is going to do here is he's going to leave it to the last second. I can guarantee it. It's what we've seen happen consistently over the last 2 nights. Safety car restarts are left until the very last possible moment, and then the trigger's pulled. So let's see what he does. He's away. Yeah, he's off. He's caught Ekim napping a little bit there. He's over a 10th gain straight away. Apex is right on Ekim's gearbox. Is he going to make the move into turn 1? He's having a look up the inside. He's poking his nose in there. Ekim goes out wide. Just gives him enough room. And they're still going side by side into turn 3. They nearly lost it. Ekim has got the position through. And as we witnessed that, Seb has made it through on Tiger as well. Are we going to stay the same into turn 3? Yes, we are. So this is going to be a very interesting battle, these 4.
So the M-Dog, he's 1.6 seconds up the road from Ekim. He's absolutely checked out here at the safety car restart. And look at this. Wow, what a train coming through the battle for P2. It's quite spicy here, and there's only a couple laps to go, so I'm not too far off expecting a few lunges from a few of these guys. It's the 2 Mercedes driver of Ekim and Tiger inside the top 5, with 7 Apex rounding out the 3rd and 4th positions here. Apex looks to have the pace in this car to take it all the way. So let's see if he can go on a bit of a hunt here and see what he can produce.
Yeah, he does. I was just going to say, Snoop, Apex, for me, looks like, one of the more confident drivers here tonight. He looks like he's got really, really good pace, but unfortunately at Baku, when you're driving, in pack racing conditions, you can't release that pace. You can't show the pace because you're constantly on the brakes early, trying not to hit the curbs, trying to keep the car out of the wall. So, as we've seen now, M-Dog is in clean air, over 2.5 gap to Ekim. He's just going to unleash, and I wonder if Apex has an opportunity to catch up to M-Dog if he's able to make it past Ekim, but it looks like Ekim's got quite low wings. He hasn't used much battery at all, and he's been able to stay ahead of Apex. So only 2 more racing laps to go here tonight, Snoop, and unfortunately Valhalla at the back there in P17's had not a very good sprint. Unfortunately, he's gone around a couple times.
Yeah. Another thing to add here as well, these guys can't work together to use the DRS to catch the M-Dog as well. Under the safety car, you need 3 laps to reinstate the DRS, and obviously we don't have that. So these guys, it's actually Apex needs to get the pass. There's no point in hanging around behind if he wants to go have a dip at the M-Dog. So for him, he probably needed to get a pass done earlier, but like you said, down that back straight, the pit straight, Ekim's clearly running an extremely low downforce setup, which just doesn't allow Apex to be close enough to make a move into turn 1. But you can see through here, look how close Apex is following here. The Alfa Romeo seems to just be on rails through these sectors here. So unfortunately,
he's so much faster.
And it's not just a little bit as well. Look at the gains he's making, and he's got to have a go. Will Apex do it? He's thought about it, and then he just backed out, makes a little bit of contact, and now it's going to bring Seb in, who's right behind. Now Seb's going to go down the inside. SV's crashed, and now Apex is just going to have to hold it.
Seb's around.
So they've all gone around the championship leader. So it's gone from bad to worse for him. And now Apex is, he's 4/10 off the back of Ekim. But unfortunately for Seb, just lost it. I don't know if he tangled up with Tiger there or what happened and been a little bit off cam, or not off camera, but just been unsettled from that move on Apex. I think it just may be too much for the card to ask from it to do a maneuver like that, Zilla. Yeah,
the rears were just a bit too lit up there coming into turn 16. He gave it a bit too much throttle, and unfortunately, yeah, once you lose the rear end there, it's very, very difficult to catch it again. And unfortunately, as we've talked about the last couple of laps, Apex just not able to get this move done on Ekim, even though this clearly, he's got the pace. He just cannot get past that Mercedes.
Someone else has gone around in that third turn as well. Or there was contact there. There was a yellow flag thrown up. So Apex will be wanting to get at least this done. A little bit of contact on the back of Ekim. The M-Dog, he's trotted 3 seconds up the road from these guys. And Apex just makes contact at the castle. So he's still going to have a bit. He's lost an end plate of that Alfa Romeo. So is he going to have the guts to go after this position? It might help him down the straight with a little bit less downforce, actually. It might have been a strategical knock of the wing, possibly. No, not really. I think he just made a mistake through there. So Ekim now 7/10s. I don't think he's going to be able to make a challenge unless something goes horribly wrong. Tadachi with a DNF as well in P15. But it looks like the M-Dog is going to be out in front in the AlphaTauri, and he's getting a bit of reprieve after that safety car nonsense that happened with the EA servers earlier. He's going to get a sprint race win here in Division 1 with Ekim coming in at P2 by the way.
Here we go, Kebab and ABK across the line. Kebab's just got the move done on the line.
So a great pick up there from Zilla. Kebab gets ABK on the line. Have we got any others? Tazza and combined YouTube. That was a very, very, very tight one as well. Look at that. With Kato as well, there was 3 over the line that were within a whisker of themselves. So that's crazy. Same with Tiger and Dutchy as well. Look at that delta. 0.072. Same with Dodgerino and Philly. So there was actually so many people down the back straight there that were jostling for position, but it's this man here, the M-Dog, who gets it done in the number 60 AlphaTauri machine, and quite a clinical drive from him. He just trotted off into the distance.
Very much so, and yeah, it was hilarious watching Kebab crossing the line in front of ABK. ABK had 0 battery and it was still trying to abuse that ERS button, unfortunately giving no extra boost, and Kebab just had a very, very slight battery advantage to pull him over the line and bring home P4 into the sprint. Kebab will be very, very happy with that.
Yeah, that's a huge effort from him, and a great pass on the line there. A few storylines to talk about in the sprint race. That Seb is going to miss out on some sprint race points here after a little bit of a move there with the Apex. Got a little bit too much for that Alpine and sees him in P14, but it's the M-Dog again, and we mentioned the winner of this race. He'll take away 8 points, the maximum for this race. With Ekim and Apex rounding out the podium. Kebab, like you said, Zilla, a great pass on the ABK to make that his 4th position his. Tazza, who comes back strong with a P6 after DNFing in the first race. We've got combined YouTube, who did an amazing job as the only Aston Martin driver, pulling in a couple of points for them, with Kato, who managed to sneak that last point in after being P11 on the restart. We'll be back just a second for the feature race here at Azerbaijan.
There ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I'll be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let them know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show them who's in charge. Call me a shooting star.
So we're back. Quick little debrief about the sprint race, Zilla. So just like we spoke about then, a lot to talk about. Seb loses out on championship points early. Kebab gets himself a nice P4 there to bring himself in. But a good point you make is those guys that spun late, Tiger, Seb, they're out of position for this race.
Yeah, very much so. And Tiger's a very good point where, before the lobby restart, Tiger was right up there in P3 or P4, I believe, up with his teammate Ekim. Those two Mercedes boys are very, very quick, and Tiger being well out of position there in P10, be interested to see what he can do here. And tyre strategy is going to play a very, very big part of this race. So as I mentioned earlier, after the sprint, you only get one set of mediums for this race. So depending on how many safety cars, it does become a very interesting battle of the tyre strategies. So I'm very, very curious to see how many start on the meds and how many start on the hards.
Yeah, strategy plays a huge part around this circuit. I'm not too sure what the strategy is in undercut and overcut here. I'm pretty sure it's the undercut that works heavily here. I could be wrong. If it is wrong in the chat, give us a heads up. But yeah, there's a few things to talk about. First of all, just in the chat, I want to say, Flixie, maybe I'll be back soon, mate. I did make a bit of a havoc of the novice division, and I'm just out here finding some me time, refining myself as a driver, and I'll come back stronger than ever. But we've got a few drivers out of place, so let's go down to our first one, which is the Tiger and the Mercedes. He's down in P10, and I didn't. Geez, Seb's actually all the way back down in P14. So I thought he didn't drop that far, even though we literally just finished that race.
Yeah, very far.
He's going to have to work hard, that boy. Werry Boy actually made one position up, I think obviously because of those spins, but that's good for him. Dutchy has done well. That's soft. Him and Dodge Reno made some positions from the back of the grid. Dutchy almost made 7 or 6 positions. But it's going to be eyes up at the front to start this race. It's the M-Dog, who really, to be honest, if I'm being critically honest, in that first race, I didn't see him as too much of a threat. I thought that Ekim had everything under control. And I thought even Apex in that last race was going to, get past Ekim and just say see you later to all three of them. But the M-Dog really proved himself that, I know he's prominent in a few other leagues around, that's in our Oceania region, and I know he's a very, very good driver, but to be honest, I didn't see him as a threat, and he's pied me in the face and said, well, I'll just go and win the race.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Just having a 7 all starting on hards, Cato there in P8 starting on mediums, and then 9, 10, 11 all starting on the hards. So yeah, very interesting. I'd say these hard runners, they can do, 20, 23 odd laps on those hards until they really, really start to deteriorate. So the added, I guess, unknown around the safety cars is what's really going to do a few drivers out here. The timing of when the safety car comes out is what really, really impacts your strategy.
Yeah, I think a big one as well is just test the drivers to thinking on their feet. It's what you have to do at circuits like this, where, if you get so many safety cars or not more than you were expecting, you have to think of your strategy while you're out there battling wheel to wheel with other drivers. So we're going to see a bit of that tonight. I'm sure we will. We've had so many virtual safety cars and safety cars throughout this night already. We're about to get 26 laps of pure adrenaline here, and it needs to be precise at Azerbaijan. It's a very, very tricky track. We're going to be on board with the M-Dog here to start off this race. The lights are about to come on here. Everything's getting ready to go. It looks like the grid is set.
It looks that way, doesn't it?
Bit of a weird one going on here. Here we go. Okay, so a little bit of delay, but now we're about to get this race underway. It's the M-Dog. How good of a start did he get? It looks like he got away from Ekim pretty well. He's got a lot of wheel spin. This camera angle needs to change. We can't see much from here. Ekim gets down the inside and just redresses through the back. Everything looks pretty good. There's an AlphaTauri in the back. Looks like Huey's gone into the wall. Somebody has, yeah, it's Huey. So Didn't look like he did too much damage to that car. Just lost an end plate. Oh, and who's that that's just gone around? Looks like Werry Boy's just spun in the rear of that Williams. So plenty of cars losing grip here. Oh, Apex gets precariously close to the wall.
Yeah, he did clip it there, I think, Snoop. I think he did actually touch.
So
he
let's
may
see.
have lost an end plate there.
The end plate looks intact, but he might just have a little bit of something.
There's contact.
So rear contact, and it's going to be carnage here. Apex just managed to get out of it and spins around Cato.
No.
It's an absolute car park here down at turn 5. So that's going to bring out... Is that even a safety car? No, it's just a yellow flag. The M-Dog's left. Eckham's there as well. ABK's managed to get himself in 3rd position. Tazza is right behind him on the back, but there was carnage there in the middle sector. Apex just got turned by the Mercedes, or... No, it was the McLaren, apologies, and then took Cato with him. So just a lot of carnage there to start this race off.
Oh, jeez. I feel really, really sorry for Apex there. He's got such good pace tonight. Oh, and Philly hits the wall as well. Apex is making the move.
So there's so many spot fires on the track right now. Tazza is about to make an overtake for P3, the last spot on the podium here on ABK early in the race. It looks like he's going to go down the outside of the straight here, coming into turn 1, and gets the position done well and truly before the corner started. And ABK is just on the back of him. He's going to redress. Dodgerino. So we're going to see two guys go side by side here. Dodge is going to take the outside line, and actually a pretty smart move there. As look at all these positions getting jostled here in the back. As Apex. Oh, and that's another one. Tiger's out. That's
Tiger's
huge
out.
collision.
Tiger's out.
So we just managed to catch that. Let's jump on board.
That's a full safety car.
So these guys got lucky here. So we managed to catch another one on stream. Tiger, one of the championship contenders, he's out. I don't know how that McLaren, I think it was Kebab. Let's jump on with him. He had a lot of damage from that car. No, who was it?
So Werry Boy's just copped a 5-second penalty there for a collision. And he also has no front wing at all. So it may have actually been the Williams there at Werry Boy collided with Tiger. I was riding on board with ABK and Tazza. Tazza did get the move done around the outside of ABK into turn 1 up into P3, so that's a great drive so far from Tazza. But yeah, early safety car, mate, lap 2. Not surprised at all.
So this is a little bit of a reprieve for our man in P10, Apex. I'm sure he's going to bring that Alfa Romeo around a pit. Now, he probably will have to come... he'll probably lose, depending on how many guys are close behind him. So Tadachi and Kebab and maybe Werry Boy will get him in the pits, but everybody else behind that will. So he might drop down to say P13, P14, Apex. But it's better than having to drive around with damage, I guess. So having a safety car this early for him is probably a help. Even though he's on the hard compound tyre, because they're so fresh, he'll be able to reuse those back later on in the race.
Yeah, correct, yeah. Yeah, I was just riding on board there with Apex, trying to assess the damage. So he's lost the front right wing end plate. The real danger with that, if it's not repaired, as we just see 7 Apex battling to enter the pit lane. I was just going to say is the real danger with actually trying to run the race with that wing damage is the fact that you are at massive risk of hitting the wall because you just can't stop the car. You lose so much downforce in the braking zone that you're very, very prone to locking up. We've seen it happen already the last couple nights when you've got no front wing. There's almost always a DNF coming the same lap because you just can't stop the car. Just as I was talking, Kebab there in the McLaren as well has DNF'd.
Yeah, I've seen him spin around that in that collision with Tiger. He was there, and I reckon he's maybe got some side pod or floor damage that has just rendered this car, or even rear wing, because he spun pretty viciously. I reckon he's had some damage to the outside of that car, not necessarily to the front wing, but I definitely reckon some rear wing and floor damage to that car, because the way those cars were spinning around in there, I actually thought he DNF'd. So I think that's maybe he's done the sensible thing and just retired, because this track's already precarious enough as it is with a full car together, let alone rear wing damage. I mean, you're just going to lose an insane amount of downforce, what you need. But then with floor damage, I mean, gee, anybody that can be competitive with the car that has floor damage, credit to you. So
Yeah, rear wing damage at Baku, Snoop is it's a race ender. There's no point continuing. Unfortunately, you're just going to have an even worse night if you choose to continue rather than cop the DNF and DNF with some dignity in the pit lane.
And I mean, you know, rear wing damage with maybe 5 laps to go, you know, manageable. But we're on lap 3 of lap 26 here, so 23 to 24 laps, depending on how many more safety cars come out tonight. But yeah, that would have been pretty unbearable to drive as well. So yeah, an expected reaction there from Kebab after sustaining some damage like that. So it's sort of yeah, expected of a driver almost as well, purely for the, you can't say safety because no one's going to get hurt, but more just the safety of the other drivers' races. It's more of a respecting as well. I think if you try and go on and you end up causing collisions or a safety car that probably didn't need to be caused, it's a little bit frowned upon, I guess. It's just, yeah, a bit of courtesy in the sim racing world, I'd say.
I was just riding on board with Seb. So Seb has decided to pit.
Again?
Now, he went on, so when he replaced the front wing behind Apex, they both went on to fresh softs.
Yeah.
And then they've come around again, and Seb's now pit, and he's gone back onto his original hard tyres. So that's very interesting. That may actually be a 200 IQ move in his battle against Apex, because Apex is on those soft tyres. They're only going to last 5 or 6 laps, and then he's going to want to get rid of them. So
The only thing,
if Seb can make up enough ground on those hards, he may actually come out quite a long way ahead of Apex. So that's very interesting play from Seb.
And this is what we talk about, thinking on your feet. It's moves like this that can ultimately change the outcome of your race. Now, the thing is depends how lucky Apex gets here. Now, if a safety car comes out within that 5 or 6 laps and he gets another free change, and that's going to hurt Seb because he's sacrificed more time and position to come back down to P14 to get these hards back on. And whether he, you know, will gain positions through a pit stop, but it depends if he can hang with him being on soft tyres. I mean, Apex is 4 cars up the road. He'll probably battle with Tadachi. I'm interested to see how long Tadachi can hold off and battle with Apex on the medium tyres. But those guys on the mediums and hards, they're going to have a hard time competing with the pace of a fresh set of soft tyres.
Yeah, absolutely. I fully expect Apex to have quite a lot of pace for the next 4 or 5 laps here. When you have a look at the drivers ahead of him, Tadachi, Valhalla, Dutchy combined, even Dodgerino, you know, I'd probably say Apex does have a bit of a pace advantage over those guys. So let's see if it matters or not. At this safety car restart, M-Dog hasn't pulled the trigger just yet. He's sitting in 5th gear, interestingly. Safety car is fully in, and he's away. Ekim definitely... Yeah, Ekim was much more... Oh, M-Dog had a bit of a moment there. Ekim's coming up at the inside into turn 3. He's going to hold it through.
Oh,
M-Dog's hit the wall. Oh, no.
So Tazza, we're on board with him. Ekim's made the pass, but M-Dog is going to have to change down the answer. I think Tazza's going to have a go as well. Decides better at that one. ABK's too far behind. Ekim takes control of this race now, and M-Dog, just one little mistake has caught him off now, and he finds himself back behind that Mercedes again with a lot of pressure coming from the Alpine of Tazza, and Tazza's look quick as well. So all hard runners at the front here battling for first position.
That's all it takes, Snoop. One tiny error into turn 1 can be all the difference here. I'm very interested to know if M-Dog has a light green or a light yellow front right wing. From the broadcast view, he still has the end plate intact, but there may still be damage there, which does still slow you down here at Baku. So he may have that bit of damage that we don't know about.
Ooh, Tazza, precariously close to that outside barrier. Oh, so someone's gone around again, and it's SVYT who's lost it. He's DNF'd, and
it's a full safety car.
Oh my lord! So Tadachi's just gonna come past him now. Here, we'll see the Williams. Oh, it's just been cleared as he comes past, but looks like he went deep on the brakes, SB, and he's put that car into the thing. We might actually be able to get him in the voice chat now under safety car. Do you reckon we can make that happen, Zilla? Can we drag him in here? Let's see if we can get live feedback here from SV as he just DNF'd going into that final sector. So we've got Ekim, who's leading after M-Dog, just made a little twitchy mistake there, but hopefully that AlphaTauri doesn't have any damage. It looks okay from the outside. End plates are intact. Possible a little bit of wing damage, but very manageable for him. Looks like he was in driving okay. So a few more hit again.
What happened, mate?
What happened there, mate?
Mate, this track is terrible. People who like this track, they're psycho. This track is so bad. I go in this train, right, and I'm like, oh, yep, we'll all be reasonable people. We'll brake at a reasonable time. I brake at my point. I'm coming super fast at these guys ahead of me. I'm like, oh, yep, hit the wall, lose a wing. I'm on a 4-stop strategy here anyway because I thought it was a great idea to use both my meds in the sprint. And, yeah, well, I hit this wall and my wheel's like, sorry, mate, not today. I'm decided I'm not going to be doing gym day today. Pops right off the car and out of the race I go. And I just want to say, mate, Philly, this next race, mate, you've got a target on your head, eh? You just want to take me out. I'm straight lining this kid at Brazil, I tell you. I'm straight lining this kid at Brazil.
So Philly here is a little bit of novice rivalry coming back out of the depths of hell, and Azerbaijan has brought out the worst in SPYT's going headhunting. Now, so Philly, if there's any, if you're watching this race back later on tonight, and you have any incidents in the future, then you can go back about 45 seconds and clip what SV just said.
And I just want to deeply apologise to my boy Huey. You know, we had the tyre glitch at the start. I decided I was going to go around the outside of Huey. He didn't get the glitch. I think he might be hacking into the game to do something to us all. And you know, so I decided I'd go around the outside, spun the rears straight into him, took him with me. So I just want to apologise to my great friend Huey. I did say we were going to be battling for P17, and I guarantee you in 5 laps he's going to be in the wall with me.
Well, thanks for coming in and letting us know how it went. We're hoping to see you in some battles soon, mate. I can't wait to yell out your name sometime during the season. But best of luck, mate, and we will definitely see you around.
Yeah, you'll be calling my name when we get to the good tracks. Don't worry.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for being a good sport coming in after that DNF. Unfortunate for you, mate. I'm sure we'll see you next
it's all good. This is actually a bonus for me. I'm glad. I'm the first winner out of all these guys. I get to leave the race early.
Hopefully,
that's a great way to look at it.
Hopefully our next interview is at the end of the race, mate.
Yeah, see ya, boys.
See you, mate.
Thanks, mate. See ya.
So you just heard from SVYT in the Williams garage there. Unfortunately, found himself head-on in the barriers down there in the final sector. And a pretty hard turn to get that wrong as well. So unfortunately for him, will no longer take part in this race, and it's Philly who will round out P15 now. We're fighting for points, so only the bottom 5 will miss out on points now. We've gone from 18 at the start now to 15, so SB, Kebab and Tiger, one of the championship leaders actually, or championship contenders I should say, is out of this race, so he's got a bit of work to do coming back into this championship. But
Apex did decide to ditch those softs there, Snoop. He's gone back onto his original hard tyres from the start of the race, so he does have 3 lap fresher hards than the race leaders, but yeah, it's a big question mark whether or not he's got the pace and is able to find the free air to actually release that pace and catch up.
Yeah, and look, that big brain move Seb paid off, because now Apex is 2 positions behind him. Yes, he has 2 lap fresher tyres on the hards, but yeah, he still made those positions, and he's still going to get past Cato, who is one of the quickest drivers on the grid, and he can battle that guy. So let's see what Apex can produce here. He will be at the back of the grid, but to start this race back off again, it's going to be Ekim, who just before that safety car was battling with the M-Dog. He just made a slight mistake and went into the barrier at turn 2. So we'll see if M-Dog's going to repay the favour here to Ekim, push him wide, force him a bit. But let's jump on board with Ekim and see when he takes off. I love using this rear view of the car because can see the exact moment with the telemetry of when they take off.
Yeah, we know M-Dog's got the pace tonight, Snoop, so it's a matter of whether or not he can make it past that Mercedes, because Ekim really has been making that car the size of an absolute double-decker bus flipped on its side. That makes no sense at all, but I thought about it on the fly. Anyway, he's left it. They've actually made contact and Ekim's away.
So Ekim waited a long time to get this race underway. M-Dog was just teetering around the outside and made contact with the rear of that Mercedes. They've all come in nicely here, but so far, gee, that's going to be a talking point at the end of this race.
Huey by side into turn 3. Oh, Huey's got the move done.
Oh, and Dutchy gets a 5-second penalty for yellow flags. So Ekim's left this race behind. Let's jump back down here. There's plenty going on.
Apex is side by side with Valhalla. Does get the move done. Valhalla's around.
Oh,
yeah,
so
the
Tanachi
McLaren
comes
of
through. It
Valhalla.
was Valhalla who just got turned there. Oh, and that's tough. Just after a safety car restart too. So, and look
Apex
at this, 7 Apex.
Yeah, P9 and P10, they're right in front of each other, so how's that?
Oh, I'm starting to lick my lips again because this is going to be a big battle here. There's a lot to play for. And look at that shot through the castle section there. One of the hardest to get right, and all of them just going through there like a seamless product. So Seb now is going to have to defend the charge of Apex. They've both got great pace, these two guys. There's not much in it. Dodgerino's only 3/10 off the back of ABK, and it's the big train coming down the back here. So what happened there to Apex? He just
Apex hit the wall, I think.
Yeah.
There's no... He still has the end plate intact. Valhalla has gone around. Oh, there's another safety car.
So who's done that? Is that Tadachi?
It was Valhalla and Tadachi, I believe, both of them.
So did Valhalla go deep and Tadachi's hit his rear wing?
Yeah, he's got Tadachi's got no wing at all.
So this race is literally going a lap at a time. So
Dodgerino has decided to pit. He's getting off those 8-lap-old mediums, and he's going to go on to the hards.
As if a full safety car came out for that.
Yeah, full safety car for that. So I would fully expect here, Snoop, the safety car may be in after one lap. The field spread is quite narrow here now. About 5 or 6 cars deciding to pit, but they will catch up to that safety car pretty fast. So I love the comment in chat from the real Zafaleo. Baku is a safety car simulator, which is very accurate if this week is anything to go by, that's for sure.
I think Bernd Mayland has led more laps of this race than any of the drivers had so far. He's out in the safety car, just racking up the kilometres on that Aston Martin today. I mean, just between these two races alone, the safety car's been out more times than I've had hot dinners, I think, so...
We've only had, I think, 4 racing laps this feature race. The rest has all been under the safety car. Maybe even more under the safety car. That may be generous.
So we're looking for a bit of consistency during this race. Looks like the top, say, 5 between ABK and Dutchy and whatnot. Dutchy's moved up quite a fair bit, actually. Those guys have been pretty consistent. Apex and whatnot, they've had little brushes with the ball, but nothing too serial apart from that tangle in lap 1. But everything else is just getting from bad to worse to terrible at the moment. We're seeing this safety car being deployed almost at 1.5 laps at a time. So hopefully, just depending on when this third car comes around of Tadachi and the Haas, I don't think we'll see the safety car in this lap. He's still a little bit too deep for them to let that go. So one more lap under the safety car. Yes, gee whiz. We are under the safety car. I wonder how many times you reckon the safety car's going to come out for this race?
I'm going to say probably another 5 times. As much as I hate to say it, that's probably the reality.
Wow.
Just because, and it's not to say that it's necessarily bad driving, Snoop. It's just given the nature of the track, you know, Baku can trigger safety cars if there is so much as a wing on the floor, and you know, no DNFs. So naturally, a lot of people are going to hit the wall. It's just the way that it is, and there are going to be a lot of safety cars. So I think we've done quite well to have the amount of safety cars we've had so far and only lost 3 drivers. It is probably a testament to back that comment I just made, that a lot of these safety cars are purely from bits of carbon as opposed to full DNFs.
Yeah, 100%. So, most of the guys that were out of position at the start of this race have made their way back to a reasonable spot. So, these 2 guys here are the 2 I want to talk about, because even though, now Apex he got DQ'd for last race, which the reason is unknown to us at the moment, of why that happened. What's going on here? Are we seeing is this a decent issue again? Because it was lagging quite a bit.
Eckham is out.
Now,
Eckham went straight into the wall in the castle section.
I think we're going to see another desync happening here.
Everything else seems okay so far.
Let's keep our fingers crossed here, but we've just seen the race leader, Ekin, crash under the safety car, which we did see previously. So race control is going to come in. So far, we're going to get this race. Apparently, it's the safety car that slowed up and stopped him. So we could be seeing a race restart here, but we're going to go on board anyway, as if we're going to get going here, just in case it is. So the M-Dog is going to retake us here. It looks like there's a little bit of lag happening.
I'm not seeing that on my side.
Let's see what happens here. So the M-Dog just has Tazza squeezing up to the rear of that car, and he takes off, gets a pretty good one. Tazza didn't really get caught sleeping, but he wasn't really too onto him either. Actually, he's made a pretty good restart there. Dutchy is going to go down the inside, and Tazza just doesn't think it's a good idea, and it's probably smart there, as he can get a run in the next sector here. So Dutchy's going to go have a look here. He's going to have no helping of DRS. Let's see if he uses any battery. He's got the overtake on. Tazza got a way better exit. Tazza might have a go here at the M-Dog down the inside.
Definitely way too far back to make a move there. But
oh yeah, it's happening again.
What just happened?
Yeah, it's happening again. Okay, guys, we are gonna leave the session and go to a quick ad break, and hopefully we'll be back with a sorted out lobby.
No, there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star. Didn't even get to bronze. I said I'm moving too far. Get to glass. Looking at a shooting star. Got more than a couple of people going mad. I swear they're rooting hard. Tell them I'd be big in the game like she went and got them breast implants. I said I'm moving too fast. Didn't even get a glance. I'm ready to eat up track like I'm seated in a restaurant. If you had swag like mine, you know it's best to flaunt. We aren't hating because you aren't. Shining like it's neon. Rock like kings shooting, yeah, shooting, yeah, shooting, yeah, shooting shots. Didn't even get to cross. I said I'm moving too far. Get to glass.
There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. I know my limits. You can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting with.
Alright, so we're back. We're going to have a quick look at the calendar again. We've got a little bit of time to kill here with a grid getting reset. So we're at Baku City Circuit now. We've got the famous Interlagos Circuit where many great things happen there. We've seen Lewis Hamilton's win from the dead in 2008, which is currently being investigated now through Felipe Massa having a little bit of a wow about that one. We've got Sebastian Vettel's charge through the field in the rain and passing the baton of the German drivers from his Formula One dad, Michael Schumacher. We've got Italy, which is, I'm pretty sure that Autodromo Internazionale Enzo e Dino Ferrari's Imola, which unfortunately at the moment is experiencing actually some pretty tough times over there with all the floods and everything that's going on there. So if you can donate to some sort of charity through those guys and have a look and a bit of awareness for that, that'd be awesome. We've got Spa, one of the classics of F1, which is kind of on the fringe of almost getting removed from the F1 calendar with all these races in the US taking place. We've got Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, which is a Canadian circuit, which in the next series of F1 has been laser scanned to perfection. We have the Circuit of Americas, which is probably the best American circuit in my opinion. I mean, we haven't seen Vegas as of yet, but Coda's an awesome track. It's very fun to drive. And then the Great Yas Marina Circuit, which again, like Brazil, where the championship enders take place, is normally a little bit of controversy there as well. What's your favourite track on this calendar for you, Zilla?
Oh, that's a tough one. On this calendar, season 8. Oh, I'd actually have to say Coda.
Yeah, what a great track.
Yeah, I actually really enjoy Coda. It's a very satisfying track when you nail it. also quite unforgiving, but there's plenty of runoff there. So
Yeah.
we won't see many, if any, safety cars at Coda as opposed to Baku. But next week in Brazil, Brazil quite a tough track for no assist as well. Pretty difficult rear traction zone there, sector 2. That's pretty tough. Very very fast track though. You know, the lap's done. Done and dusted pretty quick. Quality times anywhere around sort of 107 to 108 or 9 depending on the division. So it is a fast lap, very similar to Austria. Imola is also. I'd actually have to say Imola is my second favorite track.
I was going to say Imola is my first, I think, and then probably Coda would be second. Yeah.
It's a really, really enjoyable track to drive. And I mean, even for this game, which has got its fair share of flaws, Imola still remains to be one of the most enjoyable tracks to actually drive in this game, I'd say. Much more predictable when it comes to traction and grip, I'd say, there at Imola. But just as I'm talking, so we are loading into the lobby again now. Now, what we are doing here, so we're reforming the grid based on the positions before the game had the desync issue under the safety car, and we've got 13 racing laps remaining. So just to update those at home wondering what the hell is going on, that is where we're at.
So 13 race laps here, so that's going to change some strategy stuff, possibly change some... it could really actually change the setup of how these guys want to run their cars over, because they don't have to go the full, 50% what we were running before. So they might make some changes here. So it'll most likely be a soft to medium strategy, maybe, or a medium to hard, possibly.
Yeah. I'd say soft to medium's going to be the more likely. I would have to say, Snoop, given that we've got 13 laps, starting from scratch with all new tire allocations, I would have to assume the majority of the grid will start on the softs. Given that the safety car likelihood is very high, you can get off those softs, get onto the mediums, and run till the end.
Yeah, I think you're right there, actually. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense, doesn't it?
I could be wrong, though. We will soon find out. We're about to see the cars on the grid to do the formation lap any second now.
So this is going to be the 4th formation lap we've seen tonight. We've had a bit
Groundhog Day.
Yeah, it is. It really is. So 30 seconds here to the start of our 4th formation lap here at Azerbaijan with Div 1 round 2. It's actually provided a little bit of good racing when we've had it. We've had some brilliant overtakes. So for the people who've missed out on that, you'll have to go through all the ad breaks and all the transitions to find some good racing. But throughout the start of these races, there has been some phenomenal racing. And at the end of that sprint, there was quite some moves there between Apex and Seb and Tiger, and some crashes and whatnot. We've really had it all tonight, and we're about to get this going again. So let's hope the drivers can get something happening here and get into a bit of a comfortable position in terms of being able to get through this race. So let's have a look. Everybody on the softs besides Valhalla. So we've got one outlier who's done the opposite strategy.
Interesting. My guess was correct.
Yeah.
We are starting off, so
everybody wants to pace early.
What I really want to see here tonight, Snoop, I'm sure I can speak from both of our perspectives. I'd like to see 13 laps of these boys just going at it.
Yeah, 100%.
Without any safety cars.
If we can get some... I'm sure, hopefully these guys are feeling a little bit, ready to maybe be a little bit more careful, possibly. I think, this is just me talking, I think we've seen some moves that have probably been a little bit more careless than usual. Just some of the lunges into these back sections where it's definitely not too wide. We've seen Apex earlier, right here where Ekham's coming through now, decided to have a go, and it didn't quite pay off. And luckily for him, he was just able to avoid making some contact. So a lot of touching of the wall, that's pretty normal. These guys are pushing to the absolute limit. But I think if they can mitigate a few of the passes that probably don't need to happen and follow along, and really, they're just going to set themselves up for the 13 laps. It's actually now they would have done 13 laps in all these restarts. And they've probably done 13 laps under the safety car, to be honest, as well. So let's see how this gets underway. We're just coming through the third sector now. Everything's about to get crack-a-lacking here for the last time. So let's hope, fingers crossed, that EA can sort us out just for 13 racing laps here and finish this race off. It's going to be a big one because a lot of drivers have made mistakes now. So this is the final reprieve for everybody who's not really done the right thing. We've got Seb and Apex who are in P8 and P9. Ekim gets to have his P1 back at the front of the grid with M-Dog behind. Tazza in P3, Dutchie in P4, ABK P5. Combined is in P6. Huey and, like we said, Seb and Apex in the 9 there. Philly, Valhalla, Weruboy, Kato, Tadachi and Dodgerino. So the 15. The other guys that were eliminated early hadn't completed enough of the race to be back in the restart. So we're about to get underway here. Zilla, take us away with the final restart of the night. I'm calling it here right now. This will be the last one.
3, 4, 5 red lights. And we are away. Tazza gets a great start. Ekim got a little bit stuck on the line there. M-Dog's up the inside into turn 1. He doesn't get the move done. He does. So a little bit of wheel bang in there. Dutchie comes through into P3 ahead of Tazza into turn 1. And M-Dog and Ekim making contact a little bit there again. Seb makes his way through ABK into P5. And Ekim is now right on the gearbox of M-Dog. Is he going to try and send it up the inside? No, he thinks better. But he does make contact. And Dutchie makes contact with Ekim.
Oh, who's that? Apex has hit the wall. Let's have a look at this front wing. Oh, it might have been... Who was that? Somebody hit the wall pretty hard. Ekim... Yeah. Oh, Ekim's lost the position here as well.
Yeah, he has. M-Dog's back through. I didn't catch it. I was watching the front wings of the drivers behind to try and see her damage. And he's got the move done.
So Seb's made his way all the way from P9 up into P5 here behind his teammate of Tazza, and Tazza's right on the back of Dutchie as well. So Seb will be looking to take absolute advantage of this to increase that championship lead, and it's the M-Dog out in front leading at the moment, looking pretty comfortable once again.
Tazza's coming through with rapid pace here on the back of Seb. Is he going to try and... No, he's not. He's almost bump drafting him into the wall though at the very end there. He's about to come around turn 16. Can he get a good exit though? We do get a yellow flag there at the back for Dodgerino. Yeah. He hasn't DNF'd, but he's waiting for Valhalla to get through. Well done, Dodge.
What did I just see? What did I just see? I just changed at the final moment. And
Dutchie's out into the wall.
Dutchie's gone around. I literally just changed, and this Alfa Romeo was just coming at me at 100 miles an hour, slammed straight into my screen. So...
Oh, M-Dog and Ekim are coming in. The whole grid's coming in. Taz is staying out.
Wow.
Cato's up into P2.
So is this a big brain move here from the guys going onto the mediums? Do they think they're going to get enough time under the safety car to run this race out on the mediums? I think that's
Is it too early?
I think
it might be too early, Snoop.
Let's have a look. So Dodgerino, let's remember how far back he was. He's only just coming into the pit lane.
Oh, Seb's going to drive through.
Oh, no.
Speeding under the virtual safety car. And we're green conditions again. We're off and racing.
On?
So under that VSC, because Tazza and Kato stayed out, Tazza now has a 7-second gap.
Did they think that was a full safety? Because
they
everybody
must have
went
thought
in.
It was full. Yeah.
Did something change then? We didn't miss anything there, did we?
I don't believe so. I believe that was a VSC from the beginning, but I think it's just caught a few people off guard, thinking they had time maybe to do the pit stop. But Tazza's running away with it.
Let's have a look here. So Tazza in P1, Kato is behind. He's 7 seconds down the road in P2. The next closest car is the M-Dog. He's 8 seconds behind second position. Ekim's a second and a half behind the M-Dog, and so forth. It continues up until Seb, who's behind ABK here. This is the closest battle we have on track at the time being, and Seb's going to have to do a lot here to try and make up so he can get a bit of an undercut on Tazza. The way it stands right now, though, they still have gained enough time in the position to get an undercut, Zilla. So even though they're going to run away with a bit of a lead, by the time they go in and out of the pits, they're still going to lose time here to these guys at the front. So it depends what happens with the safety car. Can the safety car rescue these guys, or is Tazza and Cato going to have a bit of a Max Verstappen France 2021 where they're going to have the fresher tyres with 5 or 6 laps to go? As we see Seb, he's got to do his drive-through.
Yeah, he's going to serve the drive-through.
So that's his race over, basically, unless another safety car comes out. There's nothing for him that he can do, but so far, it's Tazza who leads out by a country mile.
Is it going to matter though, Snoop? That's the question. Are we going to see another safety car? So here's what I think. The field is a lot more spread than what it was before. As we watch, Huey does get the move done on Werribee. Sorry to interrupt my own train of thought. Huey, yeah, does get the move done on Werribee. Well done up in the P6. I was just going to say, the field is a lot more spread than what it's been throughout the previous race. So the likelihood of another safety car has probably reduced now because the cars aren't as close to each other.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's going to give us a safety car is another driver error, which again, the way things have been going tonight, I wouldn't put it past them at the moment. I think this track is just causing too much havoc with the racing. Everyone's trying to get on the throttle a little bit too early, it seems, and pushing a little bit too hard into these heavy braking zones. But as it stands, Tazza is miles out in front of these guys because, I mean, yeah, he's give or take 15 seconds ahead. So is that enough to get the pit stop done? He may or may not necessarily, he's going to gain positions for sure. But whether it'll give him the race lead, we're going to keep onto this throughout the rest of this race. So I think on those soft tyres, they've only got maybe 2 or 3 laps left in them before they start going right. And we'll go back down to Philly in P8, who's just having a dip on Werribee now. His camera angle is not that great as he just regresses here. And then we look at Apex as well, who just gets past combined for the P9 position here. And then where's this other safety car?
Tazza.
Oh, what's
Tazza
he
just
done?
had a moment. Tazza just had a moment. There was a yellow flag, but he doesn't have any wing damage from what I can see.
So maybe just a spin and he was able to bring it back. That gap to Cato's dropped by 3 seconds, so probably
3 seconds, yeah.
Probably something along the lines of that. Let's jump back on board with Philly. He's under a seamless amount of pressure here from Werribee, Apex, and combined as well. Seb has dropped way back with that drive-through penalty, so I don't think he's going to come into play. And like we said, unless there's a safety car that comes here, but Philly right now is doing a pretty good job. He's got that Williams behind him, but they're getting pretty tight here at the back. And Apex, who was one of the fastest guys, looking like he had this race all in his hands, is now finding himself battling for P8, and I'm not sure how far up the grid he can take this Alfa Romeo.
So Tazza has lost his right front wing and plate. He's getting off the softs. He's boxing right now.
Let's see if he's going to change his wing.
He's going to have to do a wing change. He's going to lose way too much time without that.
Once again, Tazza last week at Netherlands was running a good race as well, and just happened to make a small mistake, and it's going to cost him big time. That move that they decided to make to stay out, it's only going to reap rewards now for Cato's. Unfortunately for Tazza, another mistake's going to be the thing that brings his race down here. So still out in possibly P6, not able to get that done on Cato's. We see Eckham now is slowly losing time to the M-Dog as well. It's starting to fizzle out a little bit.
Yeah, interesting there. Tazza, look, unfortunately, just not able to hold it together there. Just didn't quite see the incident there that caused the yellow flag, so I wasn't sure if he had wing damage initially or not. But what that means is Cato, look, as far as I'm concerned, M-Dog is the de facto race leader. Cato will need to pit in the next couple of laps and get off those soft tyres. He won't be able to take them to the end.
Yeah, they're making huge gains on him now. He was originally 7 and a bit seconds up the road from the M-Dog and Eckham as well, and they've brought that down by a massive amount. They haven't used DRS. You can see here Eckham's used quite a bit of battery. Let's jump on board to the M-Dog. He hasn't, well, he's used half. That's actually a solid effort from him. So let's see surely Cato now is going to have to jump in the pits. I think those sus are probably already gone the distance here, unless Tazza was just. It looks like he's on the.
Oh, Tazza's into the wall.
Oh no!
He's kept it going, but he's got no front wing.
So that's just another bad effort from Tazza to just not string a race together without doing a silly mistake, really. So
Cato's off the tops.
I think he's going to come out at probably around P5 or P6. I think he'll just pop out in front of Apex.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Let's see where he comes out. Oh, so it's going to be tight. A little bit of a race. As he's actually way out in front of Apex there, to be honest.
Yeah, comfortably. So, interestingly now, M-Dog is the new race leader. Ekim right behind him. Absolutely no battery though. But there is a huge gap there between ABK. So, the race win here, providing there are no more safety cars, is down between Ekim and the M-Dog.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, I don't want to, I don't want to guarantee anything. We'll never know now. But Tazza really had a strong position to control this race. Even coming out where he did originally with a wing change was quite a massive gain in P5. So unfortunately for him, it's just he'd be kicking himself because I mean he genuinely has the pace. We know in time trials he's up there with battling esports drivers around the world. So. He really needs to just string one together here, and he'd be able to make a very decent challenge on the championship and challenge for race wins, but he just can't string one together right now. So I'm sure it's just frustrating for him as it's frustrating for us to watch.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because it's such an unforgiving track. The slightest mistake, you're in the wall, and your race is pretty much over. So, and look, just riding on board with Ekim. I love Ekim's approach to the ERS system. So Ekim's approach to ERS is that if you've got it, I'm going to use it. It's been on 0% for the last two sectors. He's doing everything he can to stay within DRS of M-Dog. He has used a bit of his battery, but it looks like M-Dog does have the raw pace advantage over Ekim. Just as you can see, I am riding on board with M-Dog right now, and he's using all of the track without hitting the wall. But that is the important thing here, is that M-Dog is finding the speed in these slower corners by using all of the track without hitting the wall, and that's where you really find the time here.
Yeah, as we jump on board now, we've been on board with Apex and Cato's. We've just seen he challenged for a position at turn 1, and Cato's managed to hold off the charge from young Apex now. But coming through this second sector here, Apex has got a lot of pace on Cato, and Cato's slowly dropped, but he's just getting these tyres up to speed as well. So once these tyres are up, maybe he'll be able to put up a bit of a fight. But so far, Apex has been hunting down that red Ferrari for about a lap now. So we can see coming in to the back straight here. Well, it's not really a straight, it's like a big, massive double left-hander. But Apex has been looking good. If he can get a P5, that'll be pretty respectable after he started P9 earlier with Seb. So Seb's managed to stay down there. The championship leader right now is only going to snatch 1 point as it stands. He is right behind combined into Aston Martin, but yeah, they've all, because of DRS, they're in a bit of a train down there. So we see Ekim as well as lost DRS to the M-Dog, so this is a critical time for him, whether he can bring that gap back in. We see Apex now.
He was going for a move on ABK into turn 1. He's got the move done. Sorry to talk over you there, Snoop. Right. Huey has got the move done on ABK into turn 1, although ABK does have quite a big battery advantage. Is he going to use the DRS down into the long straight into turn 3 and try and take that place back? I think he's run out of racing room here. Yeah, he most certainly has. Huey got a really, really good exit there into turn 2, and he's kept a position up into P3.
And we see just in the background of this battle right now, you can see Apex is still on the back of Cato, but Cato is just managing to keep the Alfa Romeo behind quite brilliantly, actually. He's not exerting himself too much by the looks of it. But Apex is just having to sit there and kind of cop this one.
Yeah, just trying to force the error there, Snoop. As we talked about before in the previous race before the restart, These
one?
guys, the more, yeah, good question. The more pressure you can put under the guy in front of you, the chances of them locking up and going straight into a wall is actually quite high. So
Yeah.
Apex is going to be piling that pressure on Akato and hoping that he cracks. Now, call me a little bit biased because I am part of the Ferrari camp, but I'm absolutely loving seeing these boys in P4 and P5. As with a yellow flag.
It looks like Huey.
It is Huey. Is he? He's gone around.
So he's backing now. He must have just spun, I think.
Yeah, his front wing is fully intact. Philly's going to get a very good run on him, though, with absolutely no battery. On the inside, Philly's up into P6.
Oh, look at this battle down the back here. Seb is on Werry Boy, and it gets pretty tight there. They were almost 3 wide for like a split second there, but now Werry Boy is going to have to fight off the charge from Seb. Seb just pokes his head out, has a look, but thinks better. Uses the DRS down the back zone here. And it looks like, yeah, he got his rear wing open, and Werry Boy's going to get that as well, but Seb's going to have a charge down the inside. Werry Boy's going to do nothing about that, just doesn't have the pace, and Seb's able to get that into turn 3 and make his way to charge as well. Since Huey spun earlier, his tyres are going to be a little bit worse for wear as well. So Huey's got to be careful with this charging not Aston Martin, Alpine coming through the pack.
And just as you're on board with those two, I was on board with Apex and Kato. Just on the previous lap, he's got the move done, yeah. Just into turn 3, nice and clean move. They're both on very, very low battery. We have another yellow flag for Tazza. He's around again. Tazza's having a terrible night.
And Valhalla's just DNF'd.
He has too.
Him and Tazza made contact, I think.
Is that going to be a safety car?
No, it's in the runoff, so I think it's just going to clear. I dare say that's just going to clear itself. If it hasn't even thrown a virtual or anything. Yeah, look at that. It's just clear. Itself.
Wow, what are the chances of that? So yeah, Apex up into P4.
So we're on board here with Philly now, who's got big pressure here from Huey, and Seb, who's just in the background there. Philly, this Haas doesn't have too much gas left in the tank, and it looks like this overtake is going to be pretty inevitable here from Huey. So Huey goes down the inside. He's got a lot of room here, and will just pull out in front, brakes nice and early, and gets that done. So, oh, look at Seb on the back of Philly now. So, oh, there's who's that in the background? Werry Boy.
Oh, Seb's got contact with Philly as well.
Oh.
And it's a full safety car. It's a full safety car.
So
with
we're going to have
3 laps.
we're going to only have 1 lap under the safety car because it has to give 2. So
it does. It does.
This is going to cause havoc for Tarachi, Werry Boy, because those guys, they're not going to be able to get all the way around by the time. They might get throttle locked way out the back of the circuit here.
Yep. Okay, Snoop, what are we going to see out front? Do we think anyone is going to come in for a fresh set of softs?
It's all M-Dog's call
for 2
here.
racing laps.
If he stays out, the rest of the field stays out, besides the guys at the back that are not going to lose anything anyway. But if M-Dog decides to go here, again, Ekem might want to, they've got a big buffer between themselves and ABK. And I'm sure ABK will want to be in the fight. Apex will want to be in the fight, and so will Kato. So let's see this chain reaction here. Let's ride on board with M-Dog. They're the closest to the pit lane. We've just seen Tazza and Valhalla DNF, and that's caused the safety car. I don't even know how many safety cars we've had tonight, but I'll tell you what, it's more. We've had more safety cars tonight than I think we've had racing laps, to be honest. We've had a lot of safety cars in VSC.
He's staying out.
Did Ekem come in? Ekem's coming in. Okay, here we go. Now the fireworks are starting to pop. So M-Dog stayed out. Ekem's going to pit. Let's have a look how close ABK is. Is he going to just go for it and stay out as well? He's sticking to the right-hand side of the track. Let's see if Ekem will get out and head. So ABK, this is going to be tight. I think ABK is going to get the position here. He will. And then
Kato's
Apex is stayed
in.
out. So Ekem's lost a couple here.
Oh.
This is maybe not the play. I think, to be honest, if the M-Dog came in, he would have had to dive. I think making the move there, he left himself exposed because everybody, I mean, he didn't really have the time to make a pit and not lose too many positions. So I think Eckham really has just exposed himself here. Everybody else has stayed out besides Cato's gone in, and he's going to just lose. Oh no, he keeps ahead of Tadachi. Philly and combined YouTube and Werry Boy have all pitted. So Tadachi here probably could have gone into the pits. He's got 9-lap-old mediums and actually really hasn't gained a position here. So that's going to be hard for him to stay on board with these guys. He's in a bit of a soft tyre sandwich there, which is going to be hard for him to battle with. But he does have the skill to do so. So let's see how he goes. What else? So the M-Dog, he really did make the right move. I think they're staying out. I don't think Eckham is going to be able to get past them. I mean, they're going to have full battery. Oh, it's hard to say.
Yeah, this is going to get really interesting. So, Snoop, the best thing about this right now is that it is not possible for any more safety cars tonight after this race. We are actually going to be able to end this race with a checkered flag in 2 more laps. Safety cars in this
so
lap.
Look how many guys got throttle locked in the second sector there. So there's going to be a little bit of a battle down the back there. I don't know how much time they can make around the back. Maybe Kato and Tadachi will be the only ones that'll be able to get on the back of this pack. Possibly Philly, but you combined and Werry Boy are too far off the back. They're going to get
Kato's back into it. Kato, I was just about to say Kato's the big loser here, but Kato's actually able to get back into it.
So Philly might just tuck himself on the back here. I think YouTube, or actually, you know what? Depending on how, let's see where the M-Dog goes here. Let's ride on board on the rear. They might all just catch up. Depends when he goes. He's still holding it. So Werry Boy's not going to get on the back. YouTube just managed to get there combined.
He's on. He's on. Eckham side by side with Apex.
Oh, this is going to get tight. Who's going to go deeper on the brakes? Eckham's got the soft tyres and wants to go down the inside. Gets the position done on Apex and he can't do much about that. So the Mercedes is charging. ABK now under pressure. Can he hold this charging Mercedes off? Eckham's doing everything here he can. Pulls out and goes down the inside. Somebody in the background goes down the escape road. So Eckham gets a position done already, and now the M-Dog's going to be under complete pressure here from the Mercedes with a lap and a half to go. So this strategy has actually worked out huge. We kind of bagged him out there just 5 minutes ago about making a decision that's exposed him, but he's exposed the rest of the field, and now everybody in his sights in front of him, even behind, are all vulnerable to these soft tyres. Too long to go on the medium tyres, I think, and now the M-Dog is going to have to do everything.
Apex has got the move done on ABK. Do not go too wide into the castle section, and ABK wisely backs out of it.
What a pass.
What a move.
So the M-Dog
That is
now,
a very gutsy.
he's just got a little bit, he's got enough battery here to keep Eckham behind. Eckham's really had to use this, but it's still pretty close. So let's go into this final lap. There's someone's gone into the castle a little bit too hot. It's Huey's DNF'd. So that's going to clear itself. 1 lap to go here. I don't know what it is about this division, Zilla, but it seems to be last lap tussles. And we've got another one here. Eckham's going around the outside here. He's going to have to make a move sooner or later. The M-Dog, can he redress this pass? Can he make something happen? He's going to push him down the outside and make him go the hard way around this. So the M-Dog is going to make Eckham go the hard way. Takes the inside line. Brakes nice and early. And Eckham's going to go around the outside. Oh, a little bit of contact. The M-Dog, he's down the inside. ABK spins around. Apex gets a position. Goes wide again. Eckham, it's all battling here. Now Apex is in on the battle. The M-Dog has lost the position. Apex goes around the outside as well. There's so much to play for.
He's coming back. He's not giving in.
Oh, and there's so much contact. Oh, yeah. The M-Dog's gone around. Apex has been tangled up in that. And Eckham's going to sail off into the distance.
Kato's in the P2 on the Ferrari.
So Kato, out of nowhere. Seb, the championship leaders on the podium after being P9 about 4 laps ago. Apex and combined YouTube is in the top 5. And now the M-Dog.
M-Dog's around.
So he's leading the race. is now in the last position that we have available, and it's going to be Ekem. After fighting lap after lap, he's managed to get it done. Unless something silly happens now, Ekem's going to take the race win here. Kato fought brilliantly through the grid to get his way up here. He's done well. Seb, the championship leader, he really can't complain about this race from where he was. He's been gifted some points here that's going to help his championship. Apex is still on the back with YouTube charging hard. Apex has got to defend now. This might be a drag race to the finish line with the soft tires of YouTube behind. Let's get on board with this. They might be overtaking the line. It looks like he's fully gassed out. Apex has got nothing left to give. 4/10 of a second.
M-Dog's DNF from P10.
So it looks like Apex is too far up the road to make a challenge. But it's Ekem who takes the race win after all that. Oh boy.
Oh dear. What a race. The tyre strategy at the end, Snoop, made all the difference to Ekem.
Now, I have to apologise to Ekem because I literally said he exposed himself. And he just, again, it must be when I say something about drivers that they decide to do the opposite of what I say. So if anyone wants to send me some $50 notes to say stuff about them on stream and you want to do the opposite of that, then go for it. But what a race at the end there. That was incredible.
Unbelievable scenes here tonight at Baku in Division 1. There is just too much to talk about from that race. Or should I say races?
Yeah, races. Yeah, absolutely. Wow, I cannot believe that. Just the absolute carnage that race brought out through all four of the races that we had tonight. And Ekem prevailed in the end. So let's have a look at this quickly. Ekem gets the race win. Kato, a surprise P2, and our championship leader Seb able to sneak in a podium there from the depths of the grid in P8. That's a great effort, but Kato P13. Congratulations, Kato. What an epic drive that was. Apex, again, manages to secure some points after a DNF at the first race. Combined YouTube, he'll be happy with that. He gets a P5. Philly, P6. ABK, P7. Tadachi, P8. Warrior Boy, P9. And no points given to the M-Dog as he DNF'd in the last. And then Huey, Taza, Valhalla, Dodgerino, Dutchy, all DNF'd. And we had 3 other DNFs as well prior to this race restarting. So plenty to talk about. We'll be back in just a second with the interviews. I'm just going to quickly go through the incidents here for anybody that wants that stuff. Not much considering, actually, all the safety cars we had. But we'll be back in just a second with some race interviews.
There ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star.
So we're live here with the interviews here at the end of the race. I've got the man Zilla just scouring through the Discord to find our race winner. But what a race that was. Unbelievable. Just the action that race brought at the end. I actually think it was worth all the safety cars for that. It was unbelievable. Ekem, I mean, that's one of the charges. I think in ARL, we haven't seen too many guys be able to pull that off, and I think that's why I was so skeptical that exposing himself down into P4, that was a lot of overtaking to do, and he did it in an absolutely extraordinary fashion.
Yeah, sure did. That entire, I mean, this entire night has been rather chaotic. We did get there in the end. It just goes to show that tyre strategy right at the end of the race with that 13 lapper at the end made all the difference for Ekem. And just as you say, Snoop, I am just having a look through the voice chats here in Discord. So unfortunately, Ekem, our race winner, has left the voice call early, which is understandable because tonight has gone on a lot longer than it typically would. Now, I am getting our P2 finisher, Caddo, into the call in just a moment, so just bear with us.
No worries. So we got the man Cato coming in after starting P13 on the grid. He found himself up into the podium, and the man himself, Cato. I just want to say one thing. Do you remember what I said prior to this race starting about a particular thing happening or not happening?
Nah, I forget. You have to remind me.
So when me, Zilla, and Cato were talking to the race, I said, how good's the game been lately? We haven't had any red flags in this game recently.
I was thinking that.
And I think I talk about a commentator's curse because I think that was the most bottled EA server that they've given us tonight.
It was one of the worst lobbies ever.
But
was
speaking
horrible.
of not bottling stuff, from P13 to P2 for you, Cato.
Yeah, Div 2 just had to show Div 1 how it was done.
How was that race for you? I mean, it's a long night. Red flag after red flag. The desync. I mean, you must be pretty happy to come away with a P2.
Yeah, no, I was really happy with it. To be honest, if it didn't, if the race didn't get restarted, I would have been in a little bit of trouble from the other race because I went up the back of Valhalla and then, which it was a domino effect, and then where he went into him, lost his wing, and I caused it all. But yeah, got saved by the lobby restart, so that was good. And I just got lucky there at the end because everyone stayed out, and then I went on to fresh softs, and everyone was on the old mediums or old softs. So I got a bit lucky.
You've done really well to see you up there in the Ferrari, reserving up from Div 2. You've done the Tifosi proud, mate. I'm very proud to see you bring home that P2 in the Ferrari, mate. You've done a really, really good job tonight, man. And your pace tonight was actually really impressive. Just having a look there at the end of the race, checking the fastest laps, you were actually quicker than quite a lot of the grid. Yeah, some of it did fall into place for you there at the end, but
Yeah.
you picked the right strategy at the end of the day, mate, and yeah, you've brought home P2, so really, really well done to you.
No, thanks, guys. Cheers.
As the great man HK always says, you have to be there at the end. So you did
Exactly.
that, and you got the job done. So well done to you, Cato. We look forward to hopefully seeing you reserve up a few more races before this game is all done and dusted, and we move on to the next one.
Yeah, perfect. Cheers, guys.
Awesome.
Thanks, mate. See you next week at Brazil.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, so just having a quick look through. So Ekem P1 no longer in Discord. Seb P3 no longer in Discord. Do we want Apex? Brought it home in P4 today. Had great pace tonight. Do we want to have a chat with him?
Yeah, let's get him in. He always loves to be a chat. He loves to have a chat, and he loves the attention. So bring him in.
All right, he's coming in now. Apex, good evening.
Hi.
The KFC superstar. Apex, probably not the night you wanted to have, but a good fight back in the end. You were there most of the... out of the 10 races we had tonight, you were there at all of them. But to get some points this week after a disqualification last week, are you happy with that? And he's just left.
Okay.
Maybe too many questions for the young man? Or did somebody drag him back into the social lobby, maybe?
Hang on a second, I'll just bring him back.
Oh,
Apex.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Long story short,
sorry.
you had the pace, but couldn't get it done in the end. Yeah, how do you feel about that one?
Bad. Best way to put it. Yeah, I'm not very happy at all. It was just not. It's very, very. The best way to put it was it's not been the best night for this league racing at all. You could tell a lot of people have got a sour taste in their mouth, but yeah, just I wasn't very happy. I got taken out 6 times I recorded tonight. Few in the sprint, few in the first race, few in the second. Went through about 80 front wings, and yeah, just I could not get out of the mess tonight. M-Dog and Ekham's incident, I know that'll be investigated because yeah, I just got caught up in it. I tried avoiding it, and M-Dog just kept on my throttle. So I couldn't.
Yeah, it was quite chaotic. Look, we were watching a lot of the action between yourself and the likes of ABK, Ekim. Snoop and I were regularly commenting about how impressive your pace was. You did genuinely look like you had a lot of confidence, a lot of pace in that car. It's just such a difficult one at Baku where if you don't have the clean air, it's really, really hard to really make an impact on the race. But, look, come home tonight in P4. Yes, it's definitely been a very long night. Let's put it behind us, log a few tickets for the FIA to review, and let's move on to Brazil. But anything else from yourself to add tonight, mate?
Oh, there's probably not much for me to add, to be honest. Really good job to Kato. Me and him had a pretty good battle during the middle of there. But yeah, just it was just not a great race tonight by anyone's standards. And yeah, I hope to come back a bit faster. And yeah, I got fastest lap by about 6/10 in the end. So I had a lot of pace in my car tonight, but I just could not get out on the track to show it because I was always blocked by damage or a safety car. So that's all I've got to pretty much say.
Yeah, those extra points would be nice though at the end of the night, plus the P4. So good result in the end, mate. And thanks for taking the time to speak with us for a couple of minutes after understandably quite a frustrating night for everyone involved.
Yeah, I'll be back next week. I got DSQ'd in the first race. I got to make back as much points as possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Look forward to seeing you at Brazil.
We know you've got it in you, mate. So we're looking forward to seeing the return and the rise of Apex.
Maybe. I might not be there next week because I'm going to be out doing work experience at an Air Force base in Perth. So
very nice, mate. Well, you enjoy that. That's actually sounds like you'll probably learn a lot as well and have a bit of fun. So enjoy that, and we'll see you challenging back whenever you come back into the ARL Div 1 and see you out on track making some beautiful passes again, mate.
No problem. Have a good night, guys.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Apex. See you, mate.
So that wraps it up, Zilla. A long night. We've been on stream for 2 hours and 17 minutes, just about to tick over the 18-minute mark. So a big night in the ARL, lots to discuss, but as it stands, it's Baku City Circuit done. It's out of our hand now. We move on to quite a illustrious set of circuits coming up. So Brazil next week, and then we have Imola after that the following week. So, yeah, a lot to unpack, which we'll unpack at the start of the next race. Make sure you tune in to the start of the next stream to get a little bit of a follow-up on this one. But anything to close out on here with Zilla? Any last thoughts?
I mainly just wanted to say thanks to everyone at home watching along. It has been a really, really long night, so thanks for staying with us. We do promise that the rest of the season is going to provide a lot more cleaner racing. Baku is one of these tracks where the amount of safety cars we have is almost unavoidable. So thanks for those watching home tonight. Thank you, Snoop, for tonight, and on to the next one, mate. Brazil next week.
No, Walkers. Yeah, again, to reiterate, awesome. We love having everyone in the chat. The interaction, it makes it so much fun to be in the commentary box here when we've got a bit of chirp in the chat. So thank you guys for hanging around. Brazil, what a track. A lot to unpack for that race. It's going to be a belter. If the first two rounds have proved anything, then we're in for an absolute show of fireworks into Lagos. So make sure you're there 29th of May for that race, for the first round for Division 3, and then the following days after that will be the Division 1. We always run on a Thursday here in Div 1, but make sure you get around the other divisions as well. There's some young and up-and-coming drivers that are absolutely showing out there, and Zilla is in Div 3, so if you want to get in the chat and give him some stick, that's the place to do it on a Tuesday night. But we'll leave it to you for now. Thank you very much for joining us here. You're with Zilla and Snooper Loop signing out for round 2 of Division 1. We'll see you at Brazil.